fell back in love with water. That's just about all I drink nowadays is water. Although I did buy some Vitamin Water Zero. Remember I used to always hold up Vitamin Water Zero? I bought some the other day. Yeah, but I mainly drink water these days. All right, if this video goes past 45 minutes, I'm gonna do what I did to at least 2 of my last 3 videos. I did what's called a timestamp. I got that idea from another YouTube personality. Timestamp. No, it's one of my followers actually. He suggested that I do a timestamp. I didn't do it for my very last video, but I did it for my next to last video and the video before that. And that's where, for those who criticize my videos for being too long, just like, you know, with a DVD, how I give you like a menu and you can skip to this scene in the movie and that scene in the movie and this scene in the movie and that scene in the movie. Well, that's what a timestamp does for a YouTube video. If you want to skip over some shit, you can just go right to the portion that's of interest to you. But this video is going to be kind of a blend of my last video and my next to last video. My next to last video was called Why Going Out on Dates for Casual Sex is a Complete Waste of Time. And I actually have an article today in the Negro Manosphere below that's related to my next to last video. And in my last video, I gave a recap of the 21 convention. And towards the latter part of the video, I mentioned how I have way more male haters and critics than I do female haters and critics. First, I want to give some kudos, and I'll probably put this announcement in the comment section. I had one of my clients, he did a speaking engagement in Vancouver, Canada, and he included my name and the influence I've had on him in his speaking presentation. Now, normally, I don't usually reveal the first name and last names of my email consultation clients, my Skype and telephone consultation clients, and or my one-on-one face-to-face coaching session clients, unless, you know, they make it public first that they've consulted with me or had coaching with me. But this was an exception since he did choose to mention my name as being a mentor of his and an influence of his in his speaking presentation in Vancouver, Canada on Saturday. His name is Aaron D'Souza. Aaron D'Souza. I started working with him in June. I think it was either mid to late June or early July of last year. I started working. We had a bunch of Skype and telephone consultation sessions. And then we had a one-on-one face-to-face coaching session when I went to Vancouver in late July of earlier this summer. And so, yeah, he mentioned in his speaking presentation how my books, the knowledge, wisdom, and insight he's absorbed from me has helped him transform his verbal communication style. Because when I first started working with him, he was straight up mode 3. He wasn't even, I don't think, mode 2. He was mode 3. He was a mode 3 timid. And now he's mode 1 like a motherfucker. And I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. So kudos to Aaron D'Souza. And, you know, I also got love for him because he plans on providing me with a lot of referrals to the men in Vancouver who are interested in absorbing knowledge, wisdom, and insight from yours truly. Okay. Now, first, about the hater shit. Man, some of you guys, I would say maybe 10 to 20% of the time, my haters and critics agitate me. They genuinely irritate me. Like a fly that buzzes in your ear or a mosquito that's buzzing around. They just kind of irritate me. I want to just wave them away like, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. Then the other, I'd probably say 80% of the time, They just amuse me and entertain me, man, over the stupid shit that they say. One example, I had a guy on my last video come in my comment section, a hater. I can't remember his name. I don't have it in front of me. But this brother said, well, I shouldn't say brother. I don't know if he's black. He could have been white. But he said, Alan, I know one of the reasons why you got so many male haters is you come across as arrogant and conceited, and you give off the impression that you've always had success with women, that you've never had any disappointments, any frustrations, any problems, any challenges with women. You make it basically seem like your life has just been full of nothing but romantic and sexual success with women. And therefore, that's why you have a lot of haters, because most guys can't relate to that. They can't relate to a guy who hasn't experienced the type of disappointments and failures and problems and challenges. And I'm like, again, I don't know if this dude was black, but you know I got to use the N-word here, because those brothers, remember I talked about the difference between brothers and brothers. When I say B-R-U-T-H-A-S, I'm talking about black men. When I'm talking about B-R-O-T-H-E-R-S, I'm referring to people who are close friends of mine. They can be white, Asian, Hispanic. So if I say you're my brother, you can emphasize on that R, you're my brother. That means I'm saying you're so close to me, you're like family. That's a brother to me. When I say brother, and you don't hear no emphasis on the R, I'm just mainly referring to another African American, another black man, or the same with a black woman. I call them a sister, S-I-S-T-A-H. But anyway, here's what I got to say in response to that comment that dude made. Nigga. And that applies to you even if you white, Asian, or Hispanic. I don't know what your race is who wrote that, but I just got to say, nigga, you ain't been watching my videos. If you truly believe that shit, what you said in my last video, in the comment section of my last video, then you haven't watched any of my videos going back to April of 2017. I would bet anybody money listen to my video that I've been rejected more times than anybody who's listened to my video. I would almost put money on that. I would put money on the fact that I've been rejected by more women than 95% of the guys who listen to my videos. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. Because I'm not scared of rejection. And when you're not scared of rejection, you put yourself in a position to be rejected more. See, a lot of you guys who watch me and listen to me, you guys are scared to be rejected by women. Therefore, you either do one or two things. You either don't approach women at all, or the few times you do approach women, you immediately engage in what I call trivial bullshit small talk, and you don't really put yourself in a position to be rejected by a woman. So y'all ain't really experienced no rejection because y'all afraid of rejection. The more afraid you are of rejection, the more you're going to try to avoid it and prevent it. I ain't scared of rejection, man. I ain't scared of rejection. I can name times I've been at a nightclub where, say, I might have approached 12 women in one night at a nightclub and had 9 of those 12 women just flat out reject me, and then have another 3 that gave me their number, and I ended up hooking up with them and fucking them. So, I mean, it's like the analogy I always use. I use the analogy with baseball. In baseball, almost all of your top home run hitters usually rank the highest in the league in strikeouts. There might be rare exceptions to that, but you'll find most of the time the guys who are the best hitters in the league, and particularly the best home run hitters in the league, typically have the most strikeouts. I'll give you one example from this past year. I'm not even really that big of a Major League Baseball fan, but I keep up with it when the playoffs start. But there's a guy who plays for, I think, the Texas Rangers, Joey Galloway. This guy had 40 home runs, but he had 207 strikeouts. So that's roughly, you could say, for every one time he hit a home run, there was 5 times he struck out. That's kind of how I would categorize myself when it comes to dealing with women, man. I've had a lot of strikeouts, but I've had a lot of home runs. So that's why it seems like I haven't had that many, disappointments and failures and rejections, because I've had so many home runs and people choose to focus on my home run stories, so to speak. But I definitely, trust me, I've had my share of strikeouts. So for anybody who says Alan Roger Currie doesn't know how it feels to be rejected, or doesn't know how it feels to have some challenges and frustrations with women, that's bull. Matter of fact, just 2 or 3 videos I talked about how there was a woman, I always refer to her as Sharon, the one who I said resembles the actress and director Sally Richardson. Man, I was damn near in love with that woman. She rejected me for a long-term relationship. Now, she gave me the pussy. We were fuck buddies. But as far as whenever I would express a desire to upgrade our relationship to more of a long-term boyfriend and girlfriend relationship, she wasn't having that. She told me I didn't make enough money for it. She was basically in so many words like, Alan, you too broke for me. I can never have you as my long-term boyfriend. You too broke. So that's one story right there where I talked about how that was very both egotistically frustrating for me, and I would say to a small degree emotionally frustrating for me, because I was really into this chick, man. I wanted her to be like my main woman, because she was fine and motherfucking. Plus, she was just real cool. But yeah, she wouldn't allow me to date her seriously. She on the positive end, she allowed me to be her fuck buddy for quite a few months. But I've had 2 or 3 women like that. Women that I wanted to be their boyfriend, but they just, I always joke with guys, I'm kind of like the male equivalent. You know how there's a lot of women who fall into that category. I'm sure all you guys have had those women in your life where they want you to make them your long-term girlfriend, but you end up treating them more like just, a fuck buddy. And then I'm sure a lot of those women become at minimum frustrated, at maximum heartbroken. But I know a lot of guys who I've known personally who had women in their life like that, where the woman, one of their fuck buddies, wanted to be girlfriend material, but they just relegated that woman to being their fuck buddy. I've experienced the male equivalent to that. I've had a lot of women who've treated me like that, where women were like, Alan, I'll fuck you. I'll give you some pussy. I'll let you be my fuck buddy, but as far as a boyfriend, nah, nope. Again, usually it was because of 1 or 2 reasons. It was either because they felt like I didn't have the level of career success and financial success that they desired and preferred, or secondly, they felt like I had too many kinky and promiscuous tendencies and that I was going to end up cheating on them. So anyway, all that to say, for the guy who wrote in my comment section like, Alan, man, you kind of arrogant. Now, I ain't gonna lie. If y'all watch my videos from last year, about like in my first 2 to 3 months on YouTube, I came on YouTube in April of 2017. I admitted in one of my first 5 videos, I said, I am a guy that either intentionally or unintentionally is going to always come across as a wee bit arrogant, a wee bit conceited, a wee bit full of himself, and cocky. I don't try to deny that. Matter of fact, there's a brother I'm cool with from the negromanosphere.com named Tony Maceo. He's the one who came up with the term Alan Roger Currie likes to rub his balls in men's faces. Whether it's intentional or unintentional, he likes to rub his balls. And half the time it's not intentional, but again, I don't deny that sometimes, I ain't gonna say all the time, but yeah, sometimes I am gonna come across. I mean, man, it's like I did this video a few months, either early this year or late last year, where I said, basically, I can't relate to a lot of the men on YouTube, and particularly a lot of the black men on YouTube. And I would say similarly, a lot of the men and black men on YouTube can't relate to me. I mean, that's the deal. It ain't so much the issue of arrogance or being conceited as much as it's just like if I heard Odell Beckham talk about playing, football, professional football, or Steph Curry talking about playing professional basketball, man. I mean, if I'm a motherfucker who's never played professional sports and I was listening to him talk for, say, an hour about his experience being a professional athlete, I ain't going to be able to relate to that. Not fully, not firsthand. I mean, I'll be able to relate to it from the perspective of a spectator, but as from the perspective of a participant, I ain't going to be able to relate to that. I ain't going to be able to relate to Steph Curry talking about, shooting three-pointers in the NBA Finals, or Odell Beckham talking about catching an 80-yard pass in an NFL playoff game. How would I be able to relate to that if I ain't never experienced that myself? And see, it's just like me, man. I mean, you got to understand, man. I mean, I used to live in Los Angeles, man. I used to hang out with, like, celebrities and shit, man. I mean, I've had female celebrities call my crib, man, call my cell phone. I've had phone sex with women you've seen on TV shows and in movies and shit, man. I've been at, like, celebrity parties where damn near everybody at the party was a somebody. I remember my first Hollywood party. I went to a party in Hollywood Hills, man. I saw this big plate. My dumb ass thought it was flour. I cracked this joke. I said, looks like somebody started to bake a cake and forgot to finish. And everybody looked at me like, nigga. It was a plate of cocaine, man. A plate of big ass cocaine, man. I thought the shit was flour. I thought it was cake flour. That showed you how naive I was. So, man, I mean, so some of you all listening to me, man, y'all ain't never been to no Hollywood Hills party. Y'all ain't never been to a party where like 75% of the people there was people you've seen on TV and in movies and shit and in magazines. Y'all ain't never been on a movie set. I've been on a movie set with Gene Hackman. I used to do TV commercials. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that to say that I've had some experiences that some of you guys have never experienced and probably will never experience. Just like with some of my sexual experiences, man. Like I've talked about before, man. I've had sex with a mother and a daughter before, man. How many of you motherfuckers listening to me right now have had sex with a mother and a daughter, either separately or at the same time? I've had sex with a mother and a daughter more than once. I've had it both in the context of a threesome and separately. So a lot of y'all motherfuckers can't relate to that shit. And again, Tony Mason would probably call that me rubbing my balls in some of you guys' face. But again, I'm not saying it to brag. I'm saying it to say that I've experienced some shit that some of y'all never have experienced and probably never will. And therefore, on certain levels, y'all ain't going to be able to relate to me on a first-hand level, man. Just like there's some people I can't relate to. Like I said, there's certain stuff that certain entertainment industry celebrities have experienced and professional athletes have experienced that I never have experienced and I never will. So, y'all killing me though, man, with all these. Here's what I find, man. It's related to this old adage. And I mentioned in my last video, I connected with this guy at the 21 convention named George Bruno. And we got on the subject of haters and critics. And he referenced that old adage about misery loves company. Misery loves company, man. Some guys, here's what I find. Some guys, if they haven't achieved a certain level of career success, a certain level of financial success, a certain level of popularity with women, then they only feel comfortable interacting with other guys who have had the same shortcomings as them. And anytime they're in the company of someone who has achieved more than them career-wise, has achieved more than them financially, has experienced a higher degree of popularity with women than them, their natural tendency is going to be to become a hater, man. And I've experienced that big time, man. Not only just here on YouTube, but in life in general, man. I told y'all my stories like when I was a senior, as far back as when I was a senior in high school, man. I mean, when I was a senior in high school, man, I used to have dudes that used to not only hate on me, but I had at least 4 or 5 guys that tried to start a fight with me simply because they were jealous that I was way more popular with women than them. Yeah, man. The good thing is it motivated me, it provoked me to take up martial arts. I didn't go real extensive with it. I never got to the level like black belt or nothing. But yeah, my freshman year in college, that's when I first took up martial arts. Shout out to my former sensei, George Victor Morsi, White Tiger, Pei Lum Kung Fu, White Dragon, baby. Excuse me. Matter of fact, I'm going to give y'all a simple tip if y'all didn't know this. People totally ignorant to martial arts. I didn't know you could punch somebody with more force using this than this. A lot of y'all didn't know that. I bet 10% of y'all listening to me right now didn't know that. See, most people, they think of boxing and they think of using mainly their knuckles as their main form of connecting with somebody for a punch. No. One thing I quickly learned after taking on martial arts, shit. You can do way more damage with the bottom half of your hand than you ever can with a closed fist. So for those of you ignorant to martial arts, keep that in mind. I done fucked a lot of motherfuckers up with the bottom half of my open hand than I have with my closed fist. But yeah, man. Some people just want to be haters, man. Anyway, I don't want to, I'm kind of rambling now, but I'm going to segue into my, related to the video I did 2 videos ago about how I said going out on dates, if your objective is casual sex, is a complete waste of time. And again, I wrote an article related to that. So in my video, 2 videos ago, I mainly talked about how it's unnecessary to invest a significant amount of money on women in order to get them in bed for casual sex. For the rest of this video, I want to talk about how it is usually unnecessary to invest a lot of time. See, because I mentioned George Bruno. I was mentioning my last video, I said George Bruno was one of those guys. He immediately understood the benefits and effectiveness of my Mode 1 approach. And the first thing he said, just listening to you talk about Mode 1, he said, I can understand that Mode 1 is an approach to dealing with women that is going to immediately save you time and money. Time and money. There's a saying that goes, time is money. Time is money. That's been around, I want to say, for decades, if not centuries. Time is money. That's a proverb that represents the fact that time is more finite than money is. Over the course of your life, you could potentially accumulate infinite amounts of money, but you can't accumulate infinite amounts of time. Your time is what it is. I had 2 frat brothers in the last month that passed away. One of them was fairly young. One was older. So he did live to 95 years old. Bless his soul. Shit, if I was living to 95, that would mean I would live 40 more years than I am now. That's a long time, man. I'm 55 right now. So if I lived to 95, that would mean I'd be on earth 40 more years. But then I had another frat brother, man. He was just like in his, early 40s, man. And he got hit by a drunk driver. Now I want to ask you, do you think when he woke up that morning he died, that he knew that was going to be his last day on earth? Do you think anybody who dies in a car accident or some type of other unexpected situation wakes up thinking that that's going to be their last day? Like my brother's a teacher in the school he works at. They're basketball coach, man. He was a real popular basketball coach in the state of Indiana, man. He died in a car accident a few months ago, earlier this year. I mean, like, his family and close friends was heartbroken, man. You think he woke up that day knowing that was going to be his last day on earth? You never know when your last day. That's the thing about life, man. The only people who pretty much know when their life is going to come to the end is usually people who are suffering from some type of terminal illness like cancer or some illness where their doctor pretty much lets them know that they only got so many weeks or so many months to live. Like, I've had at least one, if not two aunts that were in that category. They knew that their last days, they knew they were in their last days. Yeah, I want to say I had two aunts on my mother's side. My mother's two sisters were both in that situation. They were both in a situation where they knew they only had so many weeks and so many months to live. So they were able to kind of prepare their mind for passing away. But most people, man, they don't know. Like, I know when both my parents died, man, I don't even want to talk about it. I get choked up, man. I was heartbroken, man. I mean, my father, he died right before his 73rd birthday. I thought my father would live to at least 80. And my mother, she died a couple months after her 77th birthday. I thought she was going to live to in her late 80s, early 90s, because her mother lived to 94. So anyway, all that to say, man, time is a finite resource. Finite means limited, as opposed to infinite. Time is a limited resource, man. So I would arguably say I value time more than I do money. In general, I value both, but between the two, I value time more than I do money. So my question to you is this, and I talk about this in my Mode 1 audiobook. I ask this question: how much is 1 hour worth of your time? If you had to place a monetary value on an hour's worth of your time, and more specifically your free time, what would it be? It's just like, let's take your job life, your career. Most companies, employers, they're going to pay you. Whenever you get paid for your career or your job, you get paid for one of two things. You either get paid for your level of talent and expertise, like, say, a professional athlete, or a doctor, a surgeon, or you get paid for your time. Most typical entry-level, medium-level 9-to-5 jobs, they paying you basically for your time. Like, if you work at McDonald's, you're not getting paid for your talent for cooking burgers. You're getting paid for your time. You're getting paid for your time. So I'm asking you, what if you had to place a monetary value on your time, what would it be? What would it be? What would be an hour worth of your time be? Particularly as it relates to dealing with women. Let's put it specifically in the context of dealing with women. Now, you know, I always divide companionship between sexual companionship and non-sexual companionship. Sexual companionship and non-sexual companionship. So I'm going to ask the question, if you had to put a monetary value on both, what would it be? In other words, if a woman was to come to you and say, Frank or Fred or Ralph or whatever your first name is, if she was to say, Fred, if I was to pay you to spend time with me, how much would you charge me per hour for your non-sexual companionship? And how much would you charge me per hour for your sexual companionship? This is what I find with most men. Most men, they don't place any value on their companionship. Like, literally none. And you can tell by the way certain men behave that they don't. Like, I was talking about earlier in this conversation about celebrities. And I mentioned this in my Mode 1 audiobook. You want to know the single biggest characteristic that separates most celebrities from regular folk? It ain't how good looking they are, or how wealthy they are, or how talented they are. although all three of those things can contribute to their celebrity status. But I know, again, from being a guy who's been in the Hollywood lifestyle and hung out with celebrities, you want to know the biggest thing that separates most celebrities from average, regular folk? Is, man, they're real selective on who they allow to share their company, man. They're real selective on who they allow to share their company. They don't allow just anybody to share their company like whenever they feel like it. I'm kind of like that. I admitted that on a video last year. I remember I did a video in 2017 where I talked about that, man. I have friends to this day, man, who invite me to parties and social events, and probably 80 to 90% of them I will respectfully decline. And some of my friends get mad. They be like, damn, Alan, how come you won't come to this house party I'm giving this weekend, or this set I'm giving, or this event I'm giving? I don't know people that just hang out with me, man. Just like any just random motherfucker. Like, I've made some of my clients mad because I know sometimes when I mention that I'm going to go to a certain city, like, for example, next week I'm going to go to Los Angeles. And sometimes clients of mine will say, hey, Alan, I heard you're going to Los Angeles. Hey, can I meet up with you at a bar or restaurant and, like, talk to you for a couple hours? And I think they be thinking I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, sure. I'll be like, hell no. And some of them accept it. They don't get mad. But I've had a few that got either mad or very disappointed. But I'll be like, no. I'm a businessman. I charge my clients to spend time with me. I charge a minimum of like $250 an hour to spend time with me. I don't let no clients and followers and supporters just hang out with me for free. Are you serious? Now, see, this is where probably guys are going to say, oh, Alan's arrogant, he's conceited. I mean, that's just business. Like, you take somebody like Tony Robbins, the self-help guru, who's a multi-millionaire. You think he's going to let people just hang out with him for free? When his career is being a self-help guru who charges hundreds, if not thousands of dollars per hour? Are you serious? You think he's just going to let motherfuckers just hang out with him at a bar for free? I don't let people hang out with me, man. You can't just be hanging out with me. Fuck no. If that sounds cold-blooded, so be it. I don't let motherfuckers hang out with me. Unless you like a family member or like a close friend that I go way back. Like, usually, like, for example, when I go to LA, I'm usually going there to work with clients. I only hang out with people I'm like super duper close to. But I don't let just regular, somebody I don't even know just hang out with me for an hour, 2 hours. Hell no. But anyway, going back to my question with you, how much would you put, what monetary value would you put on your time? If you've never thought about that question, you should. See, like I told y'all in a video a few weeks ago how I've had like at least 2 or 3 women who were basically sugar mamas for me. Sugar mamas. Just like you have men who act as sugar daddies to women, I've had at minimum 2 and as many as 3 women in my life who were sugar mamas. Why do you think those women were motivated to be a sugar mama? Think about it before I tell you. Why do you think? And what's all these notifications popping up on my shit? See, man, when I deal with women, man, I place value on my dick, man. A lot of motherfuckers don't place value on their dick. I place value on my dick. Trust me, just about any attractive, sexy woman in society, she gonna place value on her sexual companionship. And the women who don't are the women who usually get criticized by other women. Like, you'll find women who place a high value on their sexual companionship, they tend to be very critical of other women who place low value on their sexual companionship. I'm the same way with men. I kind of turn my nose up at men who don't place no value on their dick, man. I place value on my dick. And I would say even more so, and I talked about this in one interview O'Shea Duke Jackson had with me when I was in Miami on Memorial Day weekend. He did an interview with me. And I talked about how, dude, my non-sexual companionship, man, I place even more value on that. Not only, I already mentioned, not only with women, but with men and women. I place a high premium on my non-sexual companionship, man. I mean, like big time. I place a high premium on my non-sexual companionship. I don't let no woman just be hanging out with me just like to be hanging out with me. No, no free attention. No free attention. Remember, that's my motto when it comes to my non-sexual companionship. No free attention. I don't give women free attention, man. Women, if women with my non-sexual companionship, they got to either pay for it with money, with business services, or with pussy. One of those three things. They either got to be paying me money, doing something to help me out career-wise or financially, or they got to be sucking my dick or giving me some pussy. If a woman ain't in one of them three categories, 99.9% chance she ain't going to gain access, and particularly regular or semi-regular access to my non-sexual companionship. Fuck no. I don't even talk to women on the phone on a regular basis, man. Like, I know a lot of guys, they'll just be chit-chatting with women on the phone. I don't do that shit, man. And a lot of women hate me for it, too. I have a lot of women who call me an asshole and a jerk because, like, I've had in the past times when women would call me and they'd be talking about just trivial bullshit. I would give them a 5-minute warning. I say, if this conversation does not result in anything that's beneficial for me by roughly the 5-minute mark, I'm hanging up on you. And a lot of women would treat me like I was joking until I got hung the fuck up on. Like, you take people on YouTube, man. The only person I talk to on a semi-regular basis, as far as fellow YouTube personalities, would be O'Shea Duke Jackson. Me and him talk probably an average of once every 2 weeks. But other than that, man, I don't talk to nobody from the manosphere on the phone. Shit, my own blood brother sometimes gets mad at me, man, because sometimes I'll go a long time without talking to him, or I'll keep our conversations real short. If I feel like he's just, talking about something trivial. I put a high value. I put value on both my sexual companionship and my non-sexual companionship, but particularly my non-sexual companionship. Oh, man, yeah, man. I mean, nah, man. Again, my motto, my personal credo is no free attention. Matter of fact, that's one of my most popular premium videos, is no free attention. That's something I talk about in my book, The Possibility of Sex, man. Nah, man. So let's say you decide that your monetary value is $25 an hour for your non-sexual attention and companionship. $25 an hour. Okay? You got that? $25 an hour. Now, let's say that a woman that you're interested in, she's determined that the 1 hour of her sexual companionship is worth $100. So 1 hour of your non-sexual companionship is worth $25, and 1 hour of her sexual companionship is worth $100. What does that mean? Under the category of time is money. That means that if you want to have sex with that woman for an hour, you're going to have to spend 4 hours with her non-sexual. If you want to spend 1 hour having sex with that woman, you got to spend 4 hours with her non-sexually. So if your monetary value for an hour worth of your non-sexual companionship is $25, then that means if you spend 4 hours with her non-sexually and she spends 1 hour with you sexually, that means you two broke even. You broke even. You didn't earn additional value and you didn't lose significant value. You broke even. Now let's change it up a bit. Let's say you spend 8 hours with that same woman to only have sex with an hour. What does that mean? That means she gained $100 worth of your time for nothing. She gained 4 additional hours of your time for nothing. Figuratively speaking, you lost money, even though you didn't actually give her money. But in terms of the category, the concept of time is money, you lost money. If an hour worth of your non-sexual time is $25, and an hour's worth of her sexual companionship is $100, and you spend 8 hours or 10 hours with her, you, figuratively speaking, you losing money. So in the same way, 2 videos ago, I talked about how I don't think it's worth it to waste a lot of money on women when your specific objective is short-term, non-monogamous casual sex. I feel the same way about time. I mean, that's one of the things that got me away from mode 2 behavior and switched to mode 1, man. Because when I was mode 2 with women, I got laid. A lot of people think when I was mode 2, I didn't get laid. I got laid being mode 2, or what most people call indirect. I've gotten laid being indirect. But the problem is, when I've been indirect with women, I've had to invest more time and more money to get laid. And I didn't mind it if I actually got laid, but where it would piss me off was those instances where I didn't get laid. I hate to invest time and money in pursuit of a woman's sexual companionship only to not get it. That would leave me feeling super duper pissed off, man. I mean, like super duper pissed off. So, yeah, man, I'm saying, well, you know, mode 1, since I've been mode 1, I've gotten more pussy from women than I did when I was indirect or mode 2. And I've invested less time and less money in doing so. I've gotten more pussy with a lower degree of investment of time and money. Because here's the reality, man. And I've said this a number of times, so this ain't going to be nothing new. And I'm going to wrap up with this. Women know when it comes to spending time, their desire to spend time with you strictly for sex, women know within 10 minutes or less after they meet you if they're going to spend time with you strictly for sex. For those men listening to me right now that didn't know that, trust me, there's studies, documented studies that have proven that. Some women have said they know as quickly as within the first 30 seconds after they meet a guy, and at the latest, roughly the 10-minute mark. Women know within 10 minutes or less after they meet you if they're willing to spend time with you strictly for sex. So if you're spending like a number of hours with a woman, a number of days with a woman, a number of weeks with a woman, number of months with a woman, and your objective is just to have a strictly sexual fuck buddy, you're wasting your time, man. You're wasting your motherfucking time. Now, if your objective is to spend just as much, if not more time with a woman non-sexually than sexually, then that's when I'll give you a pass. That's when I give you a pass for being indirect or to some degree mode 2. Because, see, that's where women tend to be indecisive. If women are indecisive about anything, women tend to be indecisive about if they want to spend time with you both sexually and non-sexually. That's the point where women are going to be somewhat indecisive, is when they're deciding if they want to spend time with you both sexually and non-sexually. And more specifically, if they want to spend time with you in a monogamous manner, which will require them to sacrifice other men they might be interested in just to spend time with you. So that might take a woman some hours, some days, some weeks, some months to determine, is if she wants to spend time with you both sexually and non-sexually, and if she wants to spend time with you exclusively, monogamously. Those two things do, for most women, take some time for them to determine. But as far as a woman deciding whether or not she wants to spend time with you strictly in a sexual manner, in a non-monogamous, strictly sexual manner, dude, that takes no more than 10 minutes. That takes no more than 10 minutes. So anytime, basically, I tell guys this all the time, anytime you're talking to a woman for more than 10, 15 minutes, you're just engaging in bullshit conversation. Your conversation ain't accomplishing shit if your objective is to spend time with a woman strictly for sex. You're wasting your motherfucking time. And everybody who knows Alan Roger Currie knows, and this is a quote from my favorite movie, Heat, when Al Pacino tells one of his confidential informants, he says, "Today, You wasted my motherfucking time. Don't waste my motherfucking time.
Today, you're wasting my motherfucking time. Don't waste my motherfucking time!
Marinate on that shit.
Yes, sir.
Say it again.
Yes, sir.
Who's the king?
Alan, you're the king.
Say it again.
Alan, you're the king. You're dominating me.
Say it again.
Alan, you're dominating me right now. Mode 1.
Mode 1.
Daddy, can I go, please? You're the king.
Say it again.
Oh, you're the fucking king. Yes. Yes. Yes.
You're the king, Alan.
AKA the king of verbal seduction. You know, it's the tone of your voice, how seductive your intonations are, the vibrations that you could just reach out over the phone lines and stroke a woman's breast just by the sound of your voice, how you could make her pussy so wet just by the sound of your voice. That's actually very hot.
So you said my show was what?
I said your show is powerful.
Oh, say it again.
Your show is powerful.
I bet the king would fuck me really good.
Oh, yeah. Who's the king?
Alan Roger Currie.
Oh, yeah. Who's the king?
Alan Roger Currie. The king.
The king.
The king.